Don't forget to click play.
What are you talking about? I always hit play.
That'd be bad.
Alrighty. We made it.
Yes, we did.
I want to welcome everyone back to the Beehive Biker Podcast. Today we have some guests. Zach, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, I would love to introduce my guest. So this is my lovely wife, Makayla. And we've talked about her on the show in the past, and so we decided today that we were actually going to bring them on and actually, get their perspective on some things about writing.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
And to my left is my lovely wife, Ellie, who, without her, this would not be possible. So, thank you.
I don't know about that. You'd still do it.
I'd be in a lot bigger trouble if you didn't support me in it, though.
True.
I feel like you're still in a lot of trouble, so.
Well, maybe it's because I have no self-control, so that's...
Could be.
She's the control.
I try to control.
Yeah, so we wanted to have them on and just have a fun chat about writing and, maybe dip into talking about some two-up writing. How long, let's see, Makayla, had you ever ridden on a motorcycle before, actually any riding? You ever ridden on a motorcycle before you rode with Zach?
So not like a Harley or anything, but I grew up on like four-wheelers, dirt bikes, the big wheel that we fixed up. Like I grew up on those, but nothing bigger than that. It was all the smaller stuff that you would just use on a farm to cart things around and go goof off in the field.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff that you just don't even, growing up, you don't think much about it.
Right.
It's just something you go out and do.
Ellie, how about you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It was all new.
All new. What did you think when I first wanted to get a motorcycle? We were still dating.
We were dating. I don't know. I don't think I was really cared. It was just kind of whatever. Well, I think you were getting a motorcycle at the same time Kenzie was getting into motorcycles.
Yeah. Well, yeah, around that.
So I had already started learning more for her. Sorry, am I not talking into the mic?
No, yeah. Just make sure you're right.
I don't want to get yelled at later.
Whatever. Make me sound to be the bad guy. No, we're fine.
The very nice thing about all these mics is that they're portable and you can move them.
True.
Yeah, just bring it. There you go.
We'll pick them up and move it around the room.
Yeah.
That's the one great thing about this podcast is it's just whatever we do.
It's chill.
Yeah.
We're pretty low key.
Yeah.
I would never call anything you do low key.
All right.
He's not denying it. So.
It's true. See, I'm right.
Well, I think it's funny because I'd been wanting a motorcycle for a long time when we were dating, and then Ellie's neighbor was just selling his, and my brother had the same style. It was he had the MT-09 2016, something like that. And then the one I got was the FZ-09 2015, somewhere around there. So I was like, perfect. Me and my brother will have the same bike, go ride with him. I'd taken Ellie out on his bike a couple times before I buckled down and bought that one. But what were your thoughts on that blue bike, the FZ-09?
It was good. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not what he has now, though.
I like what he has now a lot more.
Yeah. Why is that?
So I don't have to worry about you speeding too much more on it, and it's more comfy.
Are you saying my bike is slow?
No. I'm saying you have no control if it goes fast.
It's not a true screaming eagle.
No, it's not. Are you going to make a point to have that?
It's going to be there every single time. We'll be on episode 129, and it won't be a screaming eagle.
That sounds like I better buy a screaming eagle.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, goodness, exactly.
So, Yeah, I don't know. That was a fun bike. It definitely was not really built for 2-up riding, though. Like, having you on the back. I don't know.
I don't really remember it being bad.
Yeah, but we never went on long rides. I don't think we ever went longer than like 15, 20 minutes on that one together.
No, but I remember your other one being more uncomfortable, and I didn't like that one. But it may have just been
You
because
were
I was pregnant. So maybe that had something to do with it.
I'm almost positive that had everything to do with it. Because I remember, and I look back, and obviously hindsight is 20/20, but I thought that bike would be a lot better for 2-up riding because it had a bigger seat and it was more flat and more room for me and for her, and it wasn't so like, your 2-up rider is a backpack,
right?
Where like on a sport bike, but Ellie was pregnant throughout the majority of the time I owned that bike, so I think even when our daughter was born, I only had it for a little while longer, but even when she was born, she's like, I don't want to ride on that. It doesn't look comfortable, so. I don't know. Probably for the best that it's gone.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
I liked that bike, though. It sounded so nice. Did you remember that one?
No.
No, you never saw it?
I saw a picture of it, but I never saw it in person.
Oh, it had the Cobra swept pipes or whatever. Mm-hmm. It sounded so nice. But, yeah. I just totally lost my train of thought. It's all good.
Yeah.
How about you guys talk about your experience riding together?
Well, ours started a little bit differently. Because we were, I want to say it would have been our third date. And so the first date, we'd gone on a date with you guys.
Right.
We did dinner. Then I met her family at the zoo. And then it was like, hey, we should go on a motorcycle ride. And she's like, yeah, sure, like, that'd be awesome. And I'm like, holy crap, like, she actually said yes.
I think she might like me. Ooh, she looked at me this time.
Oh, my word.
Have we talked
Actually,
have
she
we
had,
talked
she
about
had
that?
a helmet on.
Yeah.
And so she didn't look at me.
I have to.
Have we talked about that on the podcast?
I feel like it's come up a couple of times.
Well, like, even on our first date at the end, because we were like, oh, like, have you rode any motorcycles before or anything? That's when I was like, oh, like, dirt bikes, 4-wheelers, but, like, never on what I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, like, we should plan one. And in my brain, I was like, yeah, sure, but, like, nothing's going to happen. Like, in my brain, it was like, yeah, we'll probably never talk again. Because I never looked at you once. So in my brain, I was like, yeah, it's just never going to happen. So whatever.
You thought he wasn't interested?
Yeah, just because the whole time I'm like...
She
Like
she
side-eyeing.
honestly thought that it was game over by day one.
Yeah. It was like, I saw him walk through your guys' door and was like, oh, crap.
Was it just nerves? Is that
Yeah,
why
it
you're
was
just
like, yeah, it was like the nerves, and I didn't want to look like full on look at him because I knew I would turn into a tomato. So I was like, don't look, and then just side eye the whole time. Like if he asked a question, just like side eye answer, but look just straight ahead at Ellie. And
Yeah, I
just
know.
side eye answer.
We're sitting just like this, like we're across from each other at dinner.
Yeah.
And when they left, I was like, Ellie, I don't know. Do you think it's gonna work?
I was like running to the window. I'm like, did he walk her to the car? Like, Jeremy, did he text her yet?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The next couple days, it was just, Jeremy, did he text her? Jeremy, did he text her? Like, I don't know. Like, what am I? She's like, well, why don't you ask him? I'm like, well, why don't you ask him?
Oh my word.
I was excited. It was out of my hands, so I had to know.
Well, it's not like it works out very often. I feel like you set up a million friends and it never works.
Yeah.
And
I think we
There it
both
is.
got into that mindset too. And so, and I think it was like 2 days later, I texted her. I feel like she was like, holy crap. Like,
Yeah, I was sitting there watching a movie. I remember sitting on my couch watching a movie, and some random number texted me. and was like, hey, like just talking to me. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he actually texted me.
So is that when you set up the ride?
So
Or no, that was a couple days later.
Yeah, it would have been a couple of days later. And then I think we set it in stone when we went to the zoo. And then we got you guys involved.
Oh, was that ride? Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
A birthday ride?
Yep.
Yeah. Would have been
That, what was that, Icon helmet or something that was like falling apart from the inside?
Yeah. Like the
Oh,
visor
no.
and everything was falling off. So the whole time I was riding, I was like this, just gripping onto
Holding,
it.
holding your
Yeah,
visor
just
on.
holding it in. Yeah.
That'll keep your eyes safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I remember you took it off and you had like all these fuzzies on your face because the cheek pads were all falling apart.
Yeah. So it was my brother's original helmet that he bought because he thought it was really cool because it had like American flag print and everything on it. And he was like, this would be so cool to ride on my dirt bike. And then he upgraded to a different one that had like the full, like a BMX bike helmet.
Yeah.
And he liked that one more because it was like cool green flames and everything. And so
got
that one
good
was
taste.
just sitting in our garage. And I was like, well, I don't want one that has the full face thing because I'm going to hit his head the whole time with it as I'm sitting behind him. So I brought that one and it was still hitting my head on him the whole time we were going.
She's
As I'm holding it. I was like holding it and still hitting my head on him as we were driving around.
I think that's pretty common for two-up riding.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not used to each other's like give and take or whatever.
Yeah, I did it a lot, I think, at the beginning.
Well, I think it was funny because you brought it up when we had stopped at the gas
Yeah.
station, and Ellie's like, "Oh, don't worry, I do that all the time."
Yeah. It honestly was like, okay, I feel better now. Like we have professionals that still do this, so I'm like, okay, we're good.
I don't know about professional,
No, not at all.
but I just think it's funny because on the back of my helmet, there's like literally a wear mark from where Ellie's helmet's hitting the back of my
Well,
helmet.
is there like a light switch or something in the back too on one of them?
On one of them,
and I
yeah.
think I hit it, and then the light turned on. There was something I can't remember.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
It's one of those G-Max helmets, and it's got like this
Oh, yeah.
light bar on the back just for visibility, and then you can like pop it to make it do like flash or strobe
Yeah.
or whatever. But yeah, I think I got home one day and she's like, "Hey, your back light's on." I'm like, "Why? I never turned that thing on anyways." And she's like, "I think I hit it
It was me. It was me.
with my head." So
Wanted to make sure people could see us.
Yeah, exactly. It's all that matters.
Even though you're blocking the
Yeah. Exactly. I needed to make sure I knew where he was.
you could see the light coming before you hit it.
Yeah.
there we go.
Maybe it helped.
That's funny. Yeah. Oh man, that was a good ride. That was fun.
Yeah. I think that would have been her first experience on a Harley or a really big bike. And besides what happened about 5 minutes into the ride, everything else went smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what happened 5 minutes
We
into
got
the
hit.
ride.
That was a different ride. I'm talking about the Riverside one.
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about our first date
Oh, was that
on the
did we-
motorcycle
did we
down
go
at
to
my house.
Did we go to Riverside earlier?
No.
Or later?
Later.
Oh man, I got my dates all backwards.
Yeah. Her birthday ride was
Yeah.
down at my house.
Okay.
And
So yes,
you got
other,
hit.
other than that,
And I was like, I'm surprised that she's still here, to be honest with you. I'm surprised she didn't just say,
She's like,
Ellie,
no.
let's go home. We're done.
that's right because they drove up or drove down, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought the truck down. But yeah, that would have been her first experience. And then
Get it done with at the beginning.
Yeah, true.
All the trauma's out
so
of the
she
way.
saw the goods and the bads and the emotional wreck of me and all this other stuff all in all of probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be honest, I was like, I'm surprised she's still here. This is going to be one of the shortest dates ever.
Oh my word.
Nah, it turned out all right. No one got hurt. Everyone was okay. Everything got fixed.
Yeah.
It was no biggie. Nothing too serious.
Right.
So slow speed inter group issue, but it was
Yep.
fine. That was I can't believe I could have sworn we went to Riverside first. I'm looking it up before we get done.
You're wrong.
Dang it.
I'll look it up right now. I have our whole adventure log in my phone.
That's
so
true.
good luck.
He has like a
There
log
you
of
go.
everything that we've done.
Well, while he's looking that up, Makayla, what were you thinking when you were riding with him on the back? Other than let's try not to hit him on the back of the head with
Yeah,
mine.
it was like, let's try not to hit him. But then it was also, I'm an awkward person, obviously, if I didn't even look at him for a while. But my arms, I was like, what do I do with my arms?
Like, do I hold his
I'm like,
sides?
yeah,
or-
because I'm like, when I ride with
Fold
my
my
brother
arm?
or my dad, I like grip onto their shirt
Right.
if I'm behind them. So I was like, I barely know him. Like, should I grip onto his shirt? Should I hang onto like his belt loops? So I ended up just like balling my fists and sat him off to the side of him, like on his hips. And
Yeah, you didn't really even grab me. You kind of just sat there.
yeah, until you whipped
and-
around when everything
yeah.
happened.
And
Then
then
I
she was
gripped
like-
him. Because he went from like 15 to like 50
Yeah,
in
Trying
like
to get
2
back.
seconds.
Yeah.
So it was like,
because we had taken off, and she was just kind of like, honestly, she was kind of in the mode of just like relaxing and just hanging out. I mean, you got the bag on the back,
Right,
so you
yeah.
can.
Right.
And then I saw Seth flip around, and I looked back and was like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me!" And friggin' flipped around and just hit it, and she goes, "Boom."
yeah, it was like full on, like just gripping him. Like, I'm going to fall off the back of this thing.
That would be a feat with those tour packs.
Yeah.
You,
It, like, now that I've ridden on it more, it's like, there's no way I'm falling off of this thing.
right.
Unless I haven't latched it down.
Yeah, like, there's no way I'm not falling
That's
I'm
my
falling
biggest
off.
fear.
Yeah, Ellie's like, I love the tour pack removal. Ellie hates it. She's like,
Yeah.
but now it's not like secured to the bike. Like,
It's definitely secured. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, I just have to believe that you put it on right.
oh,
Yeah.
come on. I'll put it on right.
Okay, but I have to say the other reason I hate it is because then the bags end up in my backseat of my car all the time because that's where he stores it when it's not on the bike.
Hey, hold
and
on.
so I get in my car and then there's a freaking tour pack on the back.
Hold on, who's driving that thing more right now? You drive the truck. I don't put it in the truck. I drive it in the car.
She go on the bike.
You just need a garage. Anyways,
Yes,
I got the dates for you.
need a garage. All right, prove me wrong.
April 15th, motorcycle ride for her birthday.
Okay.
The Riverside ride was May 29th,
Dang.
which would have been our 8th date. And that would have been the first time that we held hands.
Wow.
Wow, you got it all down.
Yeah.
Trust me, I do.
That's impressive.
They call him the chronicler.
Oh yeah. So we did that ride for her birthday, and then the Riverside ride that we did. We started at. Had we picked him up yet? Maybe it was at the end. When
For the Riverside one?
When we had circled around, and we were going to drop you off.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, after the Riverside one.
ride. So
When we first held hands, is that
the
what you're talking
whole,
about?
yeah, the whole time I was sitting there like, oh, just grab her hand. Oh, just grab her hand. And I'm like, no, I seriously had this mental fight
Oh, are you
pretty
saying
much the entire freaking ride. And when we got back to the back or to the beginning of the ride was when I was like, I'm just gonna grab her hand. And she literally had her hand just like
they were
this.
still in fists
And I
off to
just
the
went
side
like
of him.
this and grabbed it. And for like the last 5 minutes of the ride, this is how I held her hand.
grab that death grip?
Yeah, just the death grip fist that he grabbed. But it was so funny because I had my updated helmet that I bought.
Oh, you bought it. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if he'd grabbed
Yeah,
that one.
after my birthday ride is when it was like, you need to get a new helmet. Like, I think this is going to get pretty serious. Like, we hope it's going to get pretty serious.
and
Better, I'm buying a helmet.
Yeah,
When
literally.
she
It
bought
was
the
like, I'm
helmet,
going to
I
buy
was
a
like,
helmet.
oh, she's in for it. Here we go.
Yeah. So I bought a new helmet, and it has, like, the tinted visor on it. So when he grabbed...
Is it the flip, like, clear and then it has the sunglasses? Or just it's
like, the
just
whole thing is
Oh, okay.
tinted. And I was very happy to have a tinted one when he grabbed my hand, because literally my face was like... like, it was like internal screaming of like, he's holding my hand. And I was so happy I had the tinted visor so he couldn't see me like freaking out.
If she had that clear visor, man, you could see everything.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And I'd still be gripping onto it and be like,
That is hilarious.
Well, yeah.
But you kept it in a fizz.
I still kept it in a fist.
She sat there, and I feel like she had an internal fight of, open your dang hand,
Yeah.
you weirdo.
Like as soon as he grabbed it, it was like, why? Like why is my hand open? Open your hand. Like maneuver your hand a little bit so it opens. So then he's like, oh, I'm gonna hold your hand now. Instead, it was just like, nope, fist, fist.
Well, I think when we were at Riverside, we took a picture and Zach put his arm around her, and then when we were leaving, around you, and then we were leaving, Ellie and I have the intercom, why can't I think what they're called?
Cardo.
Pack Talk, yeah. And Ellie's like, did you see that?
I was very invested in your relationship. If you didn't know.
I love it.
So that's why, I mean, those are fun. Do you guys have Pack Talk now?
Yep,
right?
we do.
And what?
Yep.
Better? You like that?
I don't feel like we use ours as much as we could. It's nice when you really want it. Like when we go on long distance stuff and it's like, hey, you good? I haven't heard from you in like 30 minutes. You still alive?
Yeah, because he's just driving and I'm in the back like,
Yeah, she's
just looking
staring at
around
everything.
everywhere and like staring at everything. So it's like just off in my own little la la land.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely nice to be able to not have to stop and open your helmet and,
Yell
turn
over your
around and
shoulder.
scream. Or you can just be riding and be like, hey, you good? You need to stop? You need a drink? What?
Yeah.
Like,
And you can hear my amazing singing skills.
Yeah. That is a perk.
I don't know if we're using ours wrong or what, because I feel like with Ellie talking, I can hardly hear her. But she says she can hear me just fine. So I don't know, because the one I have, since I have it in the modular helmet, it's the one like with an arm. Mm-hmm. But then she has the one that's like the dot
Yeah.
that you can stick
That's
on
what
it.
she has too.
And I don't know if it's the dot is bad or what, but Ellie's like, I hear you just fine. And then I put on her helmet. I'm like, I can hear it fine too. So I don't
Is
know.
the volume turned up on your helmet?
Yeah, because it does the little like dee, dee,
Yeah.
dee, 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 when you like turn it up too far or whatever. And so I don't know. We'll have to try some different things out. Maybe get a different one of those swing arm ones. Maybe they're better. I don't know. But we'll be roaring down the road and I'll have music playing and then it'll be like, because it lowers the volume of the music when whoever else is talking. And it'll like, I'll just hear like this whisper of Ellie and I'm like, I can hardly hear you. And that was even with the baffles in on the bike.
Oh.
So like, I mean, granted they're back in, but I don't know. You
Works
feel-
just fine for me. So
Yeah.
I think
not
that's just
complaining.
proves his listening problem.
I can't win.
How many times can I tease you during this podcast?
That's her goal. It's like when we play video games and she's like, how can I ruin Jeremy's game?
Yeah. Doesn't matter who else is playing, as long as I can beat him. That's
Yeah,
all that matters.
That was the same thing when we came over and played Mario Party.
Oh, that's so true.
I was literally going to say Mario Party because that is like,
I think we all ganged up on you at that point because Ellie was
it's
like,
so
everyone
fun.
gang up on him. And we were like, okay.
Guess who still won?
That's true.
This guy. I got 6 stars and you guys stole 3 stars. I would have had like 9.
Okay, and
Golly.
how long ago was that? And you still won't let it go?
Exactly. I win at Mario Party.
Oh, my word.
But anyways, back on topic. Have you figured out how to do like the mesh stuff
No.
so that we can talk all 4 of us?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know how to do that. We
have
just
you
gotta get
have you worked it out with anybody?
Yeah, so my neighbor, well, my old neighbor, I guess I should say, we were able to do it with him. And I had Jake with my old set on the Honda, and we were all able to talk to each other.
Oh, okay. Is it just through the app? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's
just-
the distance on that? Is that are they pretty good?
It all really depends on the system. I know we have the same system, and I think it's
We have the same model, you and I?
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's 1.2 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I don't know. I think we'll have to try it out when we do our trip to Bear Lake.
Yeah.
Because I know we have it, and then I think Josh might have it. I'm kind of bummed that Seth's not going to be able to come.
Yeah.
And Gary is trying to figure out if he can come. So we'll figure out who's going to make it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Do you think that enhances the 2-Up riding experience or group riding experience as a whole? What do you guys think?
I wouldn't know as a group because we haven't been able to connect with anybody really. I mean, I talked with Jake and with Brad, but besides that, I mean, it's
Just to test it
that's a
out.
group of 3.
Yeah.
Like when you get into a group of 50 and being able to talk to the lead bike and the dude all the way in
Yeah.
the back will be a completely different scenario.
I wonder when they do that kind of stuff, if they're like kind of have some radio silence, like, hey, you're not allowed to talk unless,
Yeah.
because I can't even imagine having 50 people.
Yeah.
Does it have a max chain?
I think we can get 50 or 15. We can
15.
get 15
Okay.
people on one
I was gonna
set.
say.
That's a lot of people. I don't want that many people in my head.
I
know.
know. So I think the way that it works is that one unit can get 15 people. And so if I have 15 people with you, you can actually have somebody else. So it adds, you can
It
really
adds
get
links
to
to
like
the
50
chain.
people.
Really?
Yeah. Dang. But there's only 15 per unit.
But wouldn't that mean that you're residing in 2 different chains at the same time? Can you do that? Because like I'd be part of your chain of 15,
Yeah.
but then somebody else would have to be part of my chain of 15.
That's 30 people.
I think I'm with Ellie. I don't want to hear
I was
that.
gonna say that's still a lot of people.
And
Yeah.
if you have, let's just say you have one solo rider on a bike that has one slot open and he hooks up with somebody else, you can get another 15 people.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't know.
From my understanding of how the system works, that's how it's supposed to work.
I always thought when I was doing research on it originally, I thought it was just automatic. Like you came in contact with somebody that had one and
No.
it just hooked it up.
No.
Thank goodness, because that
Yeah.
would really be awkward. Like going down,
Yeah.
Driving down the road and it's like, "Doo-doo-doo, hello."
like some guy, like some people
Hello
like
there.
yell at you over the freaking intercom. Why are you driving so bad? Just leave me alone.
God, is that you?
Like, are you my
I'm
conscience?
pulling over.
Yeah.
And over. Do you feel? How do you two feel when you ride 2-Up? Do you feel like are you Makayla having to kind of lean with the bike? Does that help you? What things have you guys noticed when you ride 2-Up, and how you ride differently that way, Zach and Makayla?
I feel like I lean with you. Maybe I could lean more. I don't know. There's sometimes though I feel like I lean too much because I get into like my la la land where I'm like looking around at everything. So he's turning and I'm like way out with him and we like scrape or something.
Like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's when like the pack talk comes in nice because he can be like, "What are you doing? Like, what are we looking at?"
I do feel like I feel like the biggest thing is to obviously as a passenger follow your driver. Mm-hmm. So with the motions that they do either headwise or with their body, you should follow. Mm-hmm. I feel like that gives you more control over the bike, but at the same time, you really haven't been a spaz on the back. So I don't know if there's a difference between
Right.
me leaning left and her leaning right. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know because
she's always just naturally
she's
done
just
it.
naturally followed.
Like naturally, it's kind of just like, oh, he's going that way. Like my body kind of just naturally, or like my head just naturally
Right.
follows him.
I wonder how much of a difference. I'm sure it would be a lot because I just think about during the 4th of July, I took a scooter, just an e-scooter with our daughter, and she was standing down here, and I didn't realize that she was. I thought I'd hit a rock because I was like, I was worried we were gonna crash, and little do I know she's down there just like.
That's
She's
her.
jamming.
having the time of her life, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna, and then I realize it's her. I'm like, you better stop that right now.
Oh my word.
I don't think you guys realize, and maybe you do, the actual weight movement of you guys on the back, the amount that it actually shakes the bike. So if you are sitting back there and like adjusting and moving and stuff, the bike will actually move with what you're doing, even though we could be going 80 down the freeway and I have full control.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a high center of balance at that point. You have a whole other being behind you sitting 4 to 6 inches higher with the backrest, which is also heavy.
Yeah.
So I mean, even when I don't have the backrest on, like it's even more of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I don't have Ellie on and then I have the tour pack on, I feel like it doesn't balance the same at all.
Yeah.
But what do you feel when you're on the back? Do you feel like you just naturally follow suit, or?
I actually think I do the opposite, which maybe it's bad. Maybe I need to start following.
I'm not paying attention apparently.
I think not like drastically, but like if you're turning, I think I do tend to kind of lean the other way just a tiny bit. More because I have a fear of falling, you know. I don't want to lean too far and like just fall over. Like I know that won't happen. I know you have control, but I think I do. I think I'd lean opposite now that I'm thinking about it.
I wonder if that would that help you balance out, or is it better? I don't know. Because like some of your weight's this way, but you also have that weight sitting straight up.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to just have to start following what he does, and you're just going to have to start counterbalancing.
Yeah.
We'll see a difference.
See the opposite. See what happens.
We'll come back in a few weeks and be like, yeah, do not lean with me.
and maybe it's, you know, rider style. Mm-hmm. Maybe you've just gotten so used to what she has been doing that you're just like, oh, like whatever. And I'm just so used to having her on the back, and she does everything that I do. So it's like, all right.
Well, I'm actually surprised by that answer, and it's probably because I'm too busy like riding, and I'm so not worried. I'm not like constantly in fear when she rides, but I know that I have a responsibility for her safety.
Right.
And so I'm not thinking about what she's doing behind me. She could be la landing and up, like
Yes.
you know, looking out into the distance, and I'm just like, you know, that's I kind of envy the 2-up rider, the second rider in that fact, because I feel like we go on these tours or these rides for the purpose of going places to see things. But as the rider, you have a responsibility to be focused and pay attention, and so you don't get to enjoy the ride as much sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you get that feeling, Zach?
Yes,
I don't know.
yes and no.
Enlighten us.
I feel like there's been a couple of times where I'm like in La La Land too. But like I know that I have control over, you know, the vehicle, but it's just like she'll point something out and I'll be like, oh, hey, look at that. And then, you know, you go back to it. And then,
Right.
Like we were driving down our street and there was a moose off to the side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
Wait,
were
gosh.
on the
Harry?
bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were on the bike, and I was sitting there, and I was like, that's a funky looking horse. Like, I was like, what is that thing? And I looked closer and was like, that's a moose. So I'm like trying to get his attention because we didn't have the talks on yet. And it was like smacking him, like pointing, like, there's a moose out there. So he pulls over and he's like, that's a moose.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
oh my word.
I think that I remember there's a YouTuber called Dan the Fireman. I don't know if you've seen him. So from his video, he does a lot of he watches you know, YouTube videos or TikToks of people that get themselves in wrecks, and then he explains like, hey, this is what they did wrong. This is something you can look for. And I haven't watched a ton of them, but he has this kind of tier list of red, yellow, you know, green, you know, blue, whatever.
Right.
This rainbow chart of this is a high intensity moment versus in between and low, you know, low intensity moment. And so those moments when we have a clear open road and it's like the middle of nowhere and it's just us, like I'd say that's a blue, and yeah, I can kind of look around more. But when we're in the city or even on the interstate, like that's a orange or red, you know, like if I don't pay attention, a split second could, you know, get us killed.
Oh, definitely.
So I don't know. I have a hard time not tunnel visioning, you know, or not tunnel visioning, but just like focus.
Right.
I don't want to like look away and then like,
You get distracted sometimes.
Yeah.
not when I'm riding though.
I feel like
Focus.
that's one of the reasons why I like to record the rides that we go on.
Yes.
Because then if there was something that I missed, I can go back and be like, oh, hey, look, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, you saying that reminded me, Gary was telling me one time that he went on this really beautiful ride, and then him and Paula got home and he was sitting on the couch watching YouTube videos about where they'd gone. And she's like, why are you doing that?
No.
We just went there. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah, you didn't get to see it.
So I think that'd be fun. I mean, I'm sure a couple of us will have GoPros and whatnot for our trip, and we'll be able to put together a fun video, because I feel like that's one thing, this podcast and then any other videos we make, it'll feel like a group journal, you know, like you keep the history of your guys' relationship, but this podcast is literally chronicling our biker life, you know,
Yeah.
and that's something really cool. What do you think? Totally just help me out here.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. What other things should we discuss about 2-Up riding?
Oh, I was going to ask, what is it called? Is it funneling? When you guys, go
filtering?
up, filtering.
Filtering.
Does that freak you out at all ever?
We don't
I
ever do
don't
it.
think Jeremy
don't
ever
ever do
has
it?
done it.
Okay. Because we've done
Do
it.
you do it?
We've done it a couple times.
Is that a
and
personal choice?
Yes.
Or, okay.
So I wouldn't say I necessarily fear it. Like, I think I've talked about it with Randy. But I mean, our bikes are a lot wider than most bikes with the fairing and whatnot. And not every car driver drives straight
Right.
and like are even in the road. And so there, you know, sometimes you have to kind of zigzag to get between, and it's slow speed. So it's not exactly a fear. And I wouldn't, you know, maybe I'm sure Randy would say that it's just a matter of practice. But what I usually do typically is I know why filtering's a thing, and I'm glad that it is legal here, where we're worried about people rear-ending us because they just don't see us. So what I typically do is I just glide to the passenger back corner of the vehicle in front of me. So another motorcycle might hate me for that, because then I'm in the way if they're behind me or whatnot. But I usually don't think too much about it in the moment, but I just don't do it a whole lot. I don't feel like it's worth getting to the front. I don't know. I've never been so far back that I'm like, I can't wait to get 2 cars ahead. You know?
yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I don't think we go a lot of places on the bike where there are a lot of places where we would need to do that. Like if we do, we usually go out to like Honeyville or you know, where there's no lights and there's no stops. Like it's pretty much just one. And if there is, it's a small town, so we're pretty much just right in the front, you know, anyways. So, but I do have to say, not quite filtering. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh,
Is that what we said?
yeah. Filtering, because splitting is
Yeah.
like driving down the middle.
Yeah, but I've talked to Paula, Gary's wife, before about how, like, when we are riding with a group, she doesn't like to be on the side where the other lane is right there. And after listening to her talk about that, like, I do get nervous too if I'm not on the outside, if we're not on the outside, because there are cars that like will speed up and will be right there, and it like always kind of throws me. I always kind of shake and jump, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's okay,
Right.
because Mackenzie, my sister, who's on episode 3 or 4
Yeah.
for
Pretty
the
early on.
marketing, whatever, she does a lot of pageants, and her platform's all about road safety. And she made a good point that it's like, yes, you can control what you're doing, but you don't know how other people are driving, and you can't control theirs. So it's not so much that when we go for rides that I'm scared of our own sake. It's I'm more scared of everybody else around us and what they're doing and their choices. And especially with my new job now, where I work with like officers and I take all the citations that come in, there is so many people out there that like don't have licenses, that are driving wrong, and it scares me even to go drive in a car now with knowing all of that information. So be safe out there. Drive smart.
Good point. Good point.
Can't let fear control your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, to go along with that, I mean, I don't know. I've never really. How do you feel? Do you like when we stagger for group riding? Do you prefer being the left hand or the right hand? Because I mean, if you're the first person, you're supposed to be the left hand. Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really matter.
You don't really notice the difference.
I notice that I'm more on the left side in most rides because we're usually in groups of 5, and I'm always the caboose.
Oh, really?
Because when we drive at night, my bike's the most lit.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm the most visible, and they like me sitting in the back because then they can see everybody. So
Smart.
I would tend to say on the left side of the road.
I kind of like the left because you have more room to work. Like if you're taking a corner and you need a little more space, then you're good. But if you're the far right side and you take a corner and you don't have any more room to go off.
Yeah.
Or you're just off the road.
Right.
So I think that's why I kind of like the left, like the inside lane. But granted, most of the time it's just two people groups that I've been with. So it's either us 4 or me and Gary, or us and Gary and Paula. I'm trying to think of bigger rides. I mean, when we went with Seth, that was 3.
Yep.
3 bikes after.
And you would have been.
We were in the middle. We were in the middle.
You would have been the.
We were the middle, and then Seth was front, and you were in the back. And then the biggest one I've been on was I went with the Christian Motorcycle Association because Gary used to ride with them a lot, and we went up to Red Rock Point or something like that, just barely over the border past what's it called? Not Rexburg, Preston. Mm-hmm. So you go past Preston, head kind of northwest-ish, and there's this monument, and we went there, and we were supposed to keep going, but we turned back. Anyways, I think there were like 15 or 20 bikes, and that was the biggest group I've been in, and I was kind of in the middle of the mash, and it was kind of interesting trying to keep distance forward good and distance back and weaving in and out and whatever, and they use a lot more hand signs than I've ever used because it would be like the front person would be like, slow it down or like stack up. And I don't know. We'll have to do a little research and like send that out into our group. Be like, hey, be ready for these hand signs so that we all know what we're talking about, because that the group ride and the 2-up riding, there's definitely a lot more to it than just getting out on the road. I don't know. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah. I haven't really been in a large group either, so.
Really? You just kind of three people
I
tops?
feel like the biggest would have been 5.
Which was when?
And that would have been me, Seth, Dave, Heidi, and their buddy Matt. And it would have just been us 5. But, I mean, we all know exactly what we're doing, so hand signals don't come into play. But
yeah, you just naturally merge and line it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anything you ladies would like to talk about? Anything that comes to mind about riding, experiences you've had? What do you love about riding, Elle? You ride? You just go because I go?
I mean, yeah.
You're telling me you don't enjoy it?
No, I enjoy it. I mostly enjoy it because it's like, I'm a mom. I don't get a lot of quiet time. And so I get to sit in the back and do nothing, and it's great. I put my podcast on, and I don't have to do anything.
True. I was going to say that earlier. She just reminded me. when we were talking about the pack talk and not being able to hear her over mine, I'm like, and here I am trying to talk to her, and she's just like, I'm listening to.
I'm like, quit interrupting my true crime.
Yes,
I'm
that
listening.
true crime podcast.
Yes.
I'm listening to Murder with My Husband.
Yes, I love them. She's got a new one, and I love it.
What do you think, Makayla? What's your favorite part of riding?
I think it's just fun to get out. And I thought, like, my favorite memory, well, there's tons of favorite memories, but it was fun to learn, like, when you guys do the peace thing to each other, when you're passing each other on the road. I was, like, every time you'd see people do that, it was like, they're so cool.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, in their own little gang. Like, they're so cool. And then I found out, because I asked you about it, and you were like, what does that mean? And you were just like, it just means two wheels on the ground, like, be safe. And you just say that to each other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's so cool.
I just thought it was to be cool.
You have failed.
Apparently.
Oh my gosh.
My mom does it in the car whenever she sees anyone do it. She's like, yeah.
It means to keep two wheels on the ground and make sure that you ride safe.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like, I thought that was so cool. And then I did it a couple times to some people because I was like, can I do it? Like, I would get so excited and I'd be like, can I do the peace sign to them?
Yes, I wonder that too. Is it okay for the person in the back to do it too?
I think so.
I
yeah,
figured.
When
I'm gonna
Have you
do
done it?
No, I don't think I do it because I didn't know.
she never knew the meaning of
Yeah.
it, Jeremy.
I just
Why
thought
is
it was
she
pretty
gonna do
cool.
something that she doesn't know about?
It could mean something horrible.
Yeah, like, that's kind of my other thought too, is because I
know.
was like, I mean, like, you think biker gang, and there's movies and everything, there's like the stigma behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So you think,
Right.
like, what does that mean? Like, what does this mean? What are they
It's
talking
the
about?
Cult.
It's a cult symbol.
The biker cult.
Oh boy.
You only know if you're part of it.
Yeah, like,
No, not at all.
yeah.
Speaking of which, do you ever like go to do it and then you're like, it's a moped?
Yep.
Yeah, because I was asking him about it too, because there were other people coming, and I was like, they're on a bike. Why don't you do it to them? And he was like, because they're on a moped. That's
Yeah.
like so not cool. And I was like,
You
okay.
drive by and you actually do it to them, and then you're like, oh,
And then they do it back, and it's like a double.
Yeah.
what have I done?
Not that I hate people that ride mopeds. It's just it's not the same.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
what he says too. He's like, I want to be nice, like cool, like you're out and about, like you're having fun. But he's like, I don't want to do it to you.
Anything over 300, I'll give you the wave. But if you're riding a moped that's a 150cc, nope, sorry.
or just electric.
Yeah.
If it's electric,
Yeah.
you got
Nope, I'm sorry guys.
not part of the crop. The cult.
Not part of the cult.
Oh, good times. I don't know. I love having Ellie with me. That's why sometimes she'll be like, hey, why don't you go for a ride or whatever, like at night? And I'm like, well, I want to go with you. You
Yeah.
know, like it's hard not wanting to go with each other because that's what, it's bonding for people who ride together. I mean, I went to the Peach Days pre-show or pre-meeting, whatever, with Kelly yesterday, and they had all the different groups that were going to be helping out with Peach Days. And there's a guy there with the Combat Vet Association, and his name's Showbiz. Have you met Showbiz?
I think I met him last year.
Yeah, he lives here in town. He lives just down the road from us. And him and his wife, I mean, they are like stuck at the hip. They ride so much together, and I really envy them. Like I'm hoping when Ellie and I and our kids, our kids have moved on and they've grown up and married and whatever, and that's just us. We just go out riding all the
That
time.
would be fun.
The four of us go out riding.
That actually would be fun.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you
I'm
guys
in.
want to go grab dinner? All right, let's go.
Yeah, like, hop
Let's
on.
ride.
I feel like unless I'm riding to work and back, the majority of the time I'm with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
haven't been getting as much as I wanted. I was riding it to work, but then I'm sure I've talked about it on the podcast, but I got stuck in that 106 degree weather, and I was just like, this is miserable.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to ride without my full jacket and helmet. I'm on the interstate. I don't want to risk it. But, man, it was hot. Mm-hmm. And now it's finally cooler in the afternoons.
But it's still hot.
Yeah.
It's still hot.
It's still hot.
And it's pretty cold in the morning because I'm so used to it being so hot.
Yeah.
So like 50 degrees is like, ooh, that's kind of chilly.
Yeah.
I'm sure I just throw on a hoodie and be good.
Yeah.
You been riding to work?
No,
No.
I don't have a tire on my bike yet.
Oh no!
What's the deal?
And it needs to be at a show next weekend.
Yeah, what's the deal, dude? You gotta get that tire fixed.
I just haven't brought it up yet.
Oh, okay.
It's ready to go. I just haven't brought it back up.
Oh, is it at Saddleback?
No, I have the tire still. I just haven't brought it up to Saddleback.
Gotcha. You taking it off and you're just gonna have them do. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, get that on. Hurry
They
up.
have everything ready for me. I just haven't.
Weston's
brought it
waiting
up.
on you, dude.
I know. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, get that on up there. We gotta get ready for Peach Days.
Yeah.
Speaking of Peach Days, it's coming up
Next
quick.
week.
Yeah, so y'all better be ready. It's the 7th.
Yep. Well, Peach Days starts on like Wednesday and goes
Yeah.
to Sunday, but
But
bike show.
Bike Show 7. Be there, or
1 to
7th day
1 to
starts
6.
at 1. Lineup is, if you are coming, the First South and Main intersection in Brigham City, right before the whole Main Street strip. If you're on the west side road facing east, so right next to what bank is that on the corner there?
Is that the Wells Fargo? No.
Maybe it might be. Anyways, there's Smith's and then the gas station. So that road right north side of the gas station of Smith's, that's where everyone's lining up. So if you are coming, come a little early, like come around 12 to be ready, because sometimes the parade gets done early and then we are able to get everything set up and roll right in. So
And they pack you in quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
that meeting, they're like, "Okay, Baca, you guys are doing this, and we're gonna drive the bus over the road so that it covers it, and then they'll have a lane and this, that, and the other, and CMA, you're gonna be setting up cones or this, that, and the other."
We got it down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna have it set up in
Yeah.
like 15, 20 minutes. I
Yeah.
swear, because
It goes quick.
Insane.
they got the trailers pre-staged. There's like, hey, these trailers are going to be on the main street, and then these people need to get these things in this order and get it lined up, because apparently they've had some issues with some bikers come in and be like, whoa, you held us up too long. Like, why are you wasting our time? Like, I want to go walk around or whatever. So don't be that guy or gal. Don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
But come to Peach Days, please. It'll be a lot of fun and support a good cause. And this year is the Brigham City Children's Justice Court, I believe, is the group that they're donating towards. So come buy a T-shirt, buy a shop rag, donate, and be part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
You like Peach Days?
I love it. I'm from Brigham. It's in my blood.
Peach Days?
I have mixed feelings about it, to be
Uh-oh.
honest.
When you pick peaches all year round.
You kind of get tired of
Oh,
Peach
yeah.
We're peach farmers, so like peach days for us is so hectic because you have
I believe it,
everybody
yeah.
coming up and they're
That's
just like peaches, 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 and we're like trying to get as much as we can in baskets, and it's just like a never-ending process.
I guess
So,
that
like,
makes sense.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it's fun to go wander around the fair and like everything, and it's fun to go to the bike show. It's fun to go to the car show and wander around. It's super fun. It's just like the thought of I gotta pick how many things for people. Like,
Yeah. I'm trying not to let the bike show become like a hindrance of like enjoying Peach Days. Like I
Yeah.
love the bike show, but it's also a time to be with family and to enjoy the festivities. So like, anyways, come to the bike show and have fun. Meet us.
Yeah.
We're gonna be handing out stickers and whatnot, and it'll be a good time. So,
Right on.
anyways, thanks for our lovely wives who support us in all we do and come onto the podcast and make fun of us the whole time.
It's my favorite thing.
it's a love language, I tell you.
Yeah. It
is.
Like some like light joking and like light teasing each other. It's a love language.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
I appreciate it. She keeps me humble.
It's my job. It's my job.
But anyways, thank you all for listening and for all you guys do for the podcast. Be sure to like the videos and share with your friends if you enjoy what we do and support it that way. Jump on the Discord, keep posted for future episodes and different guests and questions you might have for them. But thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
Right?
Sweet.
Bye.